for a Thursday afternoon, right? Wednesday, Thursday. No, I don't even know. It is Wednesday afternoon. Really glad you guys are all here. So as always, we start off our show with Hail Mary for the repose of the soul of Emery Escobar. And obviously, if you pray for somebody regularly, please include them. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. So as I mentioned yesterday, I am broadcasting live from the Holy Cross Retreat House here in Easton, Massachusetts. So I want to thank Nancy for her hospitality today. Grateful for this opportunity and grateful she's encouraged me really to broadcast from this beautiful chapel here. This is a retreat house. They hold their Cursillo here. And Cursillo is, to my knowledge, every diocese and archdiocese in the United States. It's worldwide, but for the sake of this discussion, and to keep it local, fairly local, we have one in Methuen. That's the community that I'm part of. And it used to be in Waltham, and I'm not sure where the one that the Archdiocese of Boston hosts is at. And then there's this one here in Easton, which is part of the Fall River Diocese. They have one in Worcester. I believe Springfield has one. So they have these, Cursillo has these regularly scheduled prayer meetings called Ultrea. Ultrea is a Spanish word that means onward. So after our weekend, we're all going onward together. So we spend 3 days learning about Jesus through a series of 15 talks. 10 are given by lay people, 5 are given by clergy. And then our 4th day is the rest of our lives. Our 5th day is in heaven. So tonight's talk is what's called a 4th day talk. It's 100% witness of my journey from, as Jack used to put it, who I was to who I continue to be. It's a classic prodigal son story. And I'll do a close-up, but if you look over here, is the Rembrandt. I took a picture of it to do a close-up. It's the Rembrandt prodigal son story. It is a favorite painting of mine. That's why I'm here. I believe we all have a prodigal story. I'm just really psyched that I get to do this talk and that Rembrandt is over my shoulder. So as I was thinking about the talk today, a huge part of my journey, I read a book called The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. Lee Strobel was the former legal editor of the Chicago Tribune. His wife came home from some retreat at some point. I don't know what the retreat was, but she told him, I'm a Christian. So like, all right, what am I going to do with this? So Strobel, legal editor, trying to work from the head, and in a devout atheist, set out to prove the non-existence of Jesus as the Son of God. And halfway through his research, he became a Christian. He's now like a pastor and an author and a speaker. And so after my weekend, I ran into a friend of mine. She says, how was your weekend? I go, it was all right. So I just can't buy into that resurrected Jesus thing. Like I can't buy the divine. All right, so I saw her about a week or so later, and she handed me that book. So I started reading it. And a couple of the highlights that I always accentuate on these talks is the scientific evidence of there being more pieces of papyrus available of the original manuscripts than anything else in antiquity. Women were given credit with finding the empty tomb when women weren't even allowed to testify in court. Strobel talked about the validity of the Gospels, like given how closely to Jesus' death they were written compared to other historical figures, like the first one was like in 60 AD, 30 years after his death, and John's was in like 90 something AD. Jesus fulfilled 353 prophecies of the Old Testament, but the biggest piece of evidence was being the number of eyewitnesses to the risen Jesus. People would not die for something they know was a lie. So that book became a fairly large part of my coming back to the church. In Cursillo, we say the longest journey is the 18 inches from your head to your heart. And like I couldn't even grasp him in my head. There's a lot more to this story of the journey back, including like a white light experience at the beach mass. But I did come back to the Catholic Church, obviously. I wouldn't be here today. When I did, I was pretty much all in. So I was listening to Christian radio one day. This is, 2000, 2001, and I hear a talk given by none other than Lee Strobel. So I listened. The name of the talk was If Jesus Lived in My House. You can look it up on YouTube. There's multiple iterations of it if you wanted to check it out. But he ended the talk by this woman named Maggie, and I wanted to share that poem. This woman, Maggie, had used to write Lee all the time, send him all these letters. And in the letter, she told Lee, like, she had been burned by the church. She had burned by other people, like living in, a life of an abused person. She had been burned by so many people, and all she wanted was authenticity. So Lee directed her to a small group, and she said she needed gentleness. She needed to ask anything and have her questions taken seriously. But mostly, she just needed she needed to see people whose actions match what they say. She was just looking for real. She wanted to know if this God could be part of her life. She said they all seemed genuine. So she sent him this poem.
So I want you to imagine, here's this 24-year-old nurse poisoned against God and the church who looks into your face as a follower of Jesus and says these words. Do you know? Do you understand that you represent Jesus to me? Do you know? Do you understand that when you treat me with gentleness, it raises the question in my mind, well, maybe he is gentle too. Maybe he isn't someone who laughs when I get hurt. But do you know? Do you understand that when you listen to my questions and you don't laugh, that I think, well, what if Jesus is interested in me too? Do you know? Do you understand that when I hear you talk honestly about arguments and conflicts and scars from your past, that I think, well, maybe I am just a regular person instead of a bad, no good little girl who deserves abuse? If you care, then I think maybe he cares. And then there's this flame of hope that burns inside of me, and for a while, I'm afraid to breathe because it might go out. Do you know? Do you understand that your words are his words? That your face is his face to someone like me? Please be who you say you are. Please, God, don't let this be another trick. Please let it be real this time, please. Do you know? Do you understand that you and you and you, that you represent Jesus to me?
So if you remember, I ended yesterday's show saying, he chose me. He chose you. Now what? I guess now what is authenticity? Now what is represent Jesus to the world? It's an area that I fall short. I know I do. But I do think I'm genuine. I do think I'm real. I do believe I'm honest. What I do also know is that I'm 180 degrees different than who I was. So this talk tonight outlines that journey from who I was to who I continue to be. And I hope, like Maggie, maybe I am just a regular person. Maybe people will look at me and think, if you care, then maybe he cares. And that this face, believe it or not, that this face is his face to a seeker. That goes for all of us. In all of us, God sees something. He called us broken, lost, wandering. He sees more. He sees greatness. And he wants the world to see your greatness too.
In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity.
God sees it, despite what we see. So just like yesterday, now what? So if you like today's show, please like it, comment, share it out if you think someone else might benefit from hearing this. What about you? Do you know that you represent Jesus? Is there a pivot or a book or a word or a song or something that prompted you to do more in your faith journey? So thanks everybody for being here. I give my shout outs to all you guys that commented. I really appreciate all the comments always. Paul Blum, my brother, you're consistent, man. Glad you're here. Oh, you got that in the office over here, Crystal. You got that in your office? It's amazing. Henry Nouwen did an amazing book on it. Arlene, glad you're here. You're reading that book. Oh, I would highly recommend Case for Christ, Ida, without a doubt. Catherine, glad you made it. Yeah, it's an awesome story, isn't it, Erica? Prodigal son is the best. Oh man, I'm glad you're getting pulled in more and more. You are amazing, man. I'm loving watching this journey for you. Bill LaPierre, brother. I know people hear the witness tonight. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Same with you. If you've never heard Bill LaPierre's story, it's powerful. He's a good man. I know you try to be Jesus to everyone you meet. You do that, Arlene. Oh, you coming here, Crystal? Oh man, I'm so psyched. I hope Jack's coming too, man. I appreciate you guys being here. Oh, Regina, so glad you're here. It was great to see you last weekend too. I don't know about Chef, but I like to sling some eggs. Nikki, so glad you're here. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, that's right. Teresa's team starts tonight. Called by God. So glad you guys. I'm so psyched for you guys, man. What an awesome team. Anyway, I appreciate everybody being here. Keep the comments coming. I'd love to hear from you guys. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow live at 5. Until then, be amazing or just be.